So, Teru's kind of an example of, like, what Ritsu thinks of Mob, or what Mob could be, or having psychic powers could be like.
Yeah, exactly. But it does not seem like Teru has even been told ever, like, don't use your psychic powers on people. So I wonder if, like, he was just born with it, just like Mob, and just, like, goes on his own and uses it, has no mentor, unlike Mob does, you know?
Yeah, Mob has such a great mentor.
I mean, he does. You saw his CG attack earlier. It was great. It was amazing. But Goda, the captain of the Body Improvement Club, is amazing. He is such a good character.
I love that they went to rescue Mob. Like, was really that the plan? That he saw that there was a weakling amongst them that the other guys might want to protect, and that he, like, used that? That was a pretty smart plan.
Well, not the letter. It worked.
No.
It wasn't a smart plan.
I mean, it worked because Mob is a sweetheart, and if just in case it was a girl, he didn't want to hurt her feelings by not showing up.
Yeah, I absolutely love the Body Improvement Club, though, and their, like, philosophy on life. Like, fighting is stupid. Like, there's a bunch of quotes, but to simplify it, it's like, power isn't strength. Power is the ability to have that strength and choose not to use it.
Yeah.
You're ripped and you can take down all these people and fight whoever you want, but they're not going to do it. They're not fighters, but they were going to fight for what they love, and that's Mob. It was beautiful, and I loved every second of it.
I don't think I expected Mob to have this friendship with them, but this made me really happy.
What do you think of Teru as a character?
Love.
Oh, we got a lot of really good moments with Ritsu this episode, too.
I think it was really nice to get Ritsu, and then I feel like we get another look, another perspective on Mob from a person that has grown up all this time knowing about Mob's powers, and this person who has what Mob wants. Mob wants to be popular. Mob wants to get the girl, you know, and his little brother has all of that. Great grades, popular.
Student council, good at sports, good at sprints. Apparently he's fast. Has a lot of secret fans.
He probably has a fan club.
It seems a bit hard to get close to. Likes tofu. This whole restaurant, look on that cup. You see One Punch Man?
Yeah.
And then when you looked at the cup at a different shop, it's all called, like, Mob Donald's. You know?
Yeah.
Mob Don. And I love that, I don't know, it's really cool that the show is, like, goofy enough to, like, lend itself to,
They're
like,
in Seasoning City.
Yeah.
Salt and, black vinegar?
Yeah. I love it. It's funny.
There's absurdity to it that makes it so much more entertaining.
I always, like, my favorite part of it is gonna be the same thing every time, which is when anybody apparently uses psychic powers, and, like, how it goes from 0 to 100, no pun intended, because of the show. Like, it should, like, in art, you know? It goes from just, like, oh yeah, regular animation, to, like, oh, we see the psychic aura going around Teru's hand, and then it turns into, like, black and white, like, etching, and it's just awesome. I love it.
I don't know where it goes in terms of Mob and Teru. Like, I think it's just so cute and adorable that Mob just, like, didn't untie himself.
He could have untied himself the whole time.
He probably didn't even need to get captured.
Yeah.
And, like, he's all like, well, don't use it against other people. I'm sure he could have gotten away without, like, harming the people that kidnapped him.
Definitely. I agree with you.
He just, like, went along with it.
Do you think that Teru can actually teleport, or it's just, like, the cliche of an anime character moving really fast?
I don't know. I feel like there is a strong possibility he actually could just move really, really fast and or teleport and or appear that he's teleporting.
So it doesn't seem like he has seen Dimple yet. I don't know if that means that Mob's stronger, that Mob's weaker, and it's like the situation with Reagan where Reagan's too powerful to see Dimple. Or if Dimple's just hiding right now.
I don't think Dimple's around right now, but what I do think is interesting is that Teru... I think Mob is so strong that that's why Teru didn't even sense him.
I think it's interesting, though, because obviously Teru has achieved this, like, level of popularity and, like, confidence and coolness, and he's the shadow leader from the use of his psychic powers. And that's great, considering that earlier in the episode, Mob was talking to Ritsu about how he couldn't use his psychic powers to get those things, you know?
Right. But it's clear that Teru is an example of maybe being slightly underhanded and or violent with it, and that is not how Mob would want to be.
Yeah.
But maybe there are some things that Mob could learn from Teru in terms of other ways that he can use his psychic abilities that aren't necessarily taking advantage of other people and or hurting them.
Part of me would love to see that, like he finds other ways around it. It's like there's two options, A or B, but Mob creates an option C and like finds other ways to use his psychic powers without directly fighting someone.
Like teleportation.
Yeah.
Would him, oh no, I'm late to school. Teleporting, would that hurt anyone? No, but it would get him to school on time. So like I bet there are things that he could do in his day-to-day life that would actually be convenient to him and or helpful, and maybe things that could have a good impression on other people without controlling their minds.
Yeah. I like in regards to fighting, even like we saw that Teru put up this like shield in front of him, right?
Yeah.
Like if Mob was that strong, he could protect himself and then everybody he likes with just a shield, not causing any harm to anybody else with his powers.
Just being protective.
That does lead to the question, is there going to be a fight next episode?
I think so. I think what's being created is, unfortunately, even though Mob doesn't want to be a part of it, I think it's now going to be like he's the shadow leader of Salt Middle School. Unfortunately, I think that's going to be the outcome.
Yeah.
His life's going to get way more complicated.
He's at 45% now. I mean, it wouldn't be that much of a stretch to see him explode, but...
In a fight with Teru?
Yeah, but I don't know. Part of me also feels like there won't be a fight because Mob is not gonna bend from that rule. Like Dimple was saying, like that's the one thing he's not going to do.
I could see him trying to walk away from this fight. And I could also see this Teru character... I mean, this is all like theories. I could see Mob walking away from the fight, but giving Teru some evidence of how strong Mob is. And then the whole series is just Teru trying to get Mob to do something.
Oh, that'd be really good.
He's like, why won't you use your powers against me?
Am I not good enough?
Am I not good enough?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
But he's like, I don't even like you anyway.
Part of me thought with how they were using characters in this specific episode, I thought Ritsu was going to come in at the end and be the thing that influenced Mob to use his powers.
Oh, but that could totally be used. I mean, they haven't fought yet.
That's true.
Ritsu could totally fight. I mean, Ritsu wants to know what's happening with his brother. So if he hears that the Vinegar Middle School kidnapped his brother, he's going to run there.
Yeah. And then, like, if... I would assume that he would lose. I would think Mob would lose his shit. I think, at least. Like, I think that would let out his, like, emotions.
Yeah. Ritsu's sitting at his desk in the middle of the night trying to bend spoons.
That was heartbreaking.
I feel for the kid.
I do, too. A really cynical side of me could see Ritsu making a deal with somebody to get psychic powers and becoming a villain.
Well, why can't Dimple... I mean, Dimple... That's the issue with having Dimple around, I think, is Dimple has the power of possession. And if, like, what if he strikes a deal with Ritsu?
Yeah.
And what if...
If that's a thing.
And what if the thing is, like, well, Mob, if you want to save your little brother, then you have to strike the deal with me. Because that's Dimple's whole plan, is to try to get Mob to have a partnership with him.
You wonder, like, what's up with the Kageyama family, though, because, like, the way that they acknowledged Mob's spoon bending in episode 1, I thought one thing was like, oh yeah, they're all used to psychics and they're all psychics or something. But now we definitely know that Ritsu isn't, and it didn't seem like their parents were like upset that Ritsu wasn't. They love what Ritsu's doing.
Yeah, it just seems like they grew up for Shigeo's whole life knowing that he could do stuff like this, but they want him to keep it on the down low.
Or they don't even care, and he has decided he wants to keep it on the down low. Question. Was Reagan the one to tell Mob not to use powers on other people?
I believe so.
Okay. God, he's such a good character. Mob's okay, too.
And can we talk about his masterful photo exorcism?
I mean, what's there to talk about? It's okay, no, there is...
You don't like your eyebrows? Just go to Reagan.
There is something to talk about in regards to this, though. Can a spirit or yokai be photographed? Is that an actual, like...
It's probably a stain on the wall.
Like
it's probably a shadow
yeah.
or something.
So, like, Facetune doesn't exist in this world.
Graphic exorcism. This is one of Reagan's special moves.
Where he uses CG software to edit photos. How... You have to respect his hustle, honestly. Like, he's a normal man using, like... learning all these
so
different...
you're finally admitting that he's a normal man?
No, let me finish. He was a normal man, but he has elevated every part of himself to learn new techniques and skills so that he can make a living in this world. He is a master class masseuse. He needs to be on VFX Artist Reacts because he has incredible CG abilities. He, like... Really though.
He's dedicated to the con.
You have to respect the man to some degree.
I mean, he's trying so hard. You see the vein popping on his forehead?
Yeah, and he gets business and is making a living fooling these people into thinking he's a real life psychic when they actually exist in this world. That there's a part of me that very much admires him.
Are you sure it's just a part?
It's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a big part.
I really did like the Ritsu in this episode. I think that was other than like just the art and like art, and animation. I think from like a story perspective, it was cool to see more of Ritsu. I like his character design a lot.
I mean, they definitely used him well to introduce this new character.
It like paired with the dialogue from 100% Mob last episode. I think it's the most serious the show's gotten, you know, in regards to like his feelings because he's Mob's little brother, you know.
Mm-hmm. I love that he only went to get interviewed by that girl just because he knew that she had some information of something that happened to Mob. Yeah. Not because he was willing to get interviewed about Mob, just because he wanted to figure out what was happening with his brother.
I loved it. Let's see what other clothes Mob has. Some cool shirts.
He has some button-ups, a green one, a white one.
I feel like Dimple is going to stick around for a long time.
Unfortunately.
I think he is going to have a great character arc where he is going
You think he's going to have a character arc and he's
Yes.
not just going to be there waiting for his chance and thinking that he can do it every other episode?
I think that will culminate into a love for Mob and Mob's ideals, which will result in a sacrifice that Dimple makes on Mob's behalf.
A sacrifice?
Yes. I think it will inevitably lead to Dimple putting Mob before his own dream.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That would be some redemption.
That's my dream.
Did we talk about how Mob is the leader of our religion now?
The best part about that was the like transition of like the poster.
And then it was on his face.
Yeah.
Oh, the helmet religion? Is that what that said?
I think so.
Oh my god.
That's great. And he doesn't realize it. And the phone number, I'm assuming Dimple remembered from.
I'm sure it's a person that Dimple knew from his days as a smiling religious leader.
Good episode, all in all.
It was a good episode. I really am excited about Teru.
Yeah, it's a good addition.
I like that the other school uniform is like super, super colorful.
Mm-hmm.
And so then that even lends to him being more colorful than Mob in terms of hair too.
Yeah.
So it's like Mob, his uniform is basically like black, and then he has the black helmet hair.
Mm-hmm.
And then this new rival character is colorful from top to bottom. And this show is very colorful.
Well, there was a move that he had that was really interesting because he is so colorful, but it like voided his hand of color and just went black and white. And I thought that was
awesome.
Really cool because of how colorful his design is. But cool. You good?
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we hope to see you next time.
There's absurdity to it that makes it so much more entertaining. There's absurdity to it that makes it so much more entertaining. There's absurdity to it that makes it so much more entertaining.
There's absurdity to it that makes it so much more entertaining.